Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Geoguessr Daily Challenge. We had a gold, finally. Another gold yesterday. Super, super nice. Alright, let's just get into this one today. Alright, Brazil it looks like. Sorry, I was just listening to what's going on outside. Don't know if you heard that or not. But anyway, yeah, so it looks like Brazil, probably central, maybe kind of around here. Tocantins, Goiás, maybe Mato Grosso do Sul, if that's how you say it. I think that's, I don't know. Let me know how my pronunciation is. Hopefully we'll find one of those highway signs that tells us if we're on a BR highway, what BR highway it is. Should also be checking for other country clues, such as Colombian crosses on the signs, because this could be Colombia as well. Let's look at this sign, actually, that's coming up. And yeah, actually there is a Colombian cross. So I think actually it's going to be Colombia. Totally doing a 180 here, but that is definitely more accurate. So I think the right region to go then would be kind of maybe out here. We've had rounds out here recently. And that kind of does make sense. It's a bit better than Brazil. Better of a guess. And look, on the side of this car, you can see it has this Colombian thing. I can't really read what that says, but we know that that thing is like very distinctive to Colombia. So that's good. Yeah, I don't know if like I'm gonna find that really. So let's just go back to the start and go this way. I think we were going the other way before. Let's see if we find anything this way. We have 1 minute. So yeah, yellow license plates, and luckily I went back this way as well. That's just a little bit of a confirmation. And also we have a town here, so yeah, it was really good to turn around actually. Spanish as well. I mean, yeah, we went totally the wrong way at the start. So that's a good little tip, learning moment. Turn around sometimes, you know. If you're going one way the entire round, you might want to see if you missed something. Like I did here. So yeah, we're in a little town here. I don't know if I'm gonna unfortunately find the name of it. Again, these are all just little stores. So yeah, we've got 10 seconds here. Arjona. Yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit more central, just in case. Yeah, it's this northern region again. I mean, I literally titled the video title yesterday. It was talking about this region and how tough it is. And here we are again, just right up here in the north. And it looks totally, I mean, this is where kind of we were. And it looks totally different. It's impossible. I don't even know what to do. I don't know what to do in these rounds. I really don't. All right, so white down the center is interesting here. I could see this being a strange New Zealand almost round. My first thought was Uruguay or Argentina. That was my first instinct. But white lines down the middle doesn't track with that. So there is possibilities of other rounds. However, we have some Spanish and signs on the right side. So I think we're probably just there. We can forget about that New Zealand thought that I had. It wasn't really even, it was a suspicion is really what it was. But anyway, let's see what kind of poles we got. We have metal pole. Metal? Or is that wooden? Shoot. That might be wooden. So one thing we can say about Uruguay is they use wooden poles for their signs a lot more. Argentina, you will see a lot more. You'll see a lot more metal poles, and those were 2 wooden poles in a row that I just saw. So I'm starting to think we're in Uruguay. But I need a little bit of confirmation here. I see a highway sign coming up, so this is great. So let's see what this says. San Luis, Provincia San Luis. So, do we have provinces here? We do, actually. San Jose, Florida. Where else? Rio Negro. Maldonado. The reason I'm checking is because I think there's still a possibility this is Argentina, and I want to make sure first that it isn't Uruguay. Just looking at all the names of departments, and what I'm thinking is that yes, we are indeed here in Argentina. So we have a place called Merlot, Mercedes, and San Luis to look for. First I'm gonna, well, Provincia de San Luis, right? So it'll be a province. It'll be a San Luis province out here. Perfect. San Luis is 163 away to the north, possibly. Villa Mercedes is 65 away. And Merlot is even further, so I'm assuming it's up. So I think we're probably heading up towards Villa Mercedes. And look at that. Really good guess. Really good guess. We lost only 50 points. We went up, down, everywhere, trying to look for where we were, but thankfully we actually found it in the end. Okay, so is this left side driving? It could be. We see a little tuk-tuk kind of buggy there, which reminds me a lot of Bangladesh. The language here reminds me of Bangladesh as well. So that's tracking, and we haven't had Bangladesh in a while, so it's good to see it again, because I find it one of the easier countries to spot and make guesses in. This one I would put in the kind of southwestern central area, a little bit southwestern of Dhaka, right? Is usually is where I put it when it feels kind of wet. That's really the only logic there, is that it feels a little bit wet, so maybe it's near the wetter regions. Of course, there are exceptions to the rule. It's not even really a rule to begin with. Language usually helps a bit, kind of, do we see English, do we not see English? Here's something though, Bera and Sandhya to look for. So we're definitely in Bangladesh, no doubt about that. Let's look for Bera and Sandhya. So this is where I would put it, down here somewhere like Khulna area. Bera and Sandhya. Looking for Sandhya at this zoom level. Bera is very close, so it could be small. Sandhya is a little bit further, so it could be larger. Reason I say that is because the further away a place is, if it's still on a sign, it's probably a little bit bigger, a bit more important of a landmark that people might want to get to from further away. That's the thought process. But it's only 7 kilometers, so maybe that, doesn't hold here. I do think region is pretty correct, pretty close at least to being correct, because it does feel very wet, which is kind of accurate. However, now it feels dry on once we get into the town. So I really don't know what to think. Might just go plop near Dhaka just to cover more of the country. This is also a possibility. People running for office, however, of course I cannot read the city name in which they're running for office, so it becomes useless, unfortunately. Otherwise, they would be very useful posters. Yeah, see, that gives me nothing to work with. Yeah, so I'm thinking, let's just go place it here. Dhaka, kind of central in the country. We won't lose too many points, hopefully. Cool. Yeah, it was more north of Khulna, where we originally had it, right along the river here, which makes sense. There's Bera. We wouldn't have found that. Sandhya. To be honest, I don't see it. So maybe that wasn't a good thing to look for. So good to know. Good to know. Not bad, though. Not bad, all things considered. All right, next up, we see the car, which is interesting right off the bat. This feels strange. So my first initial thought with the strange feeling that I'm getting is something like Tasmania. We are on the left. Just the trees, just the way it kind of feels. Driving on the left is a good sign for that. For that suspicion. Don't know if those trucks were going to help me, but I didn't see anything on the first one, so I didn't want to take too much time. One thing to look out for, I know, in Tasmania is if you see poles, they will have the climbing guards on them to keep the, I guess, possum guards, something like that. Yeah, and they're green. They're wrapped around poles. Something to look for. I know that that is a meta for Tasmania. However, we haven't had any poles yet. Let's just see if I'm right. We are getting some signs here. Now, these type of blue signs usually I associate with New Zealand. However, this doesn't feel as much to me like a typical New Zealand round. This does feel a lot like a lot of Tasmania rounds. So I'm still stuck on that. Not 100% sure, of course. You can't be 100% sure on something like this. Here's something. Te Papa Atorbai Tawarau Forest Conservation Area. So let's just go in here and see if we have something. Conservation areas. I'm going to put a guess down just in case. So these names are very, I'll say, English sounding, not based on native languages. So this is something to consider. There is also in the South Island of New Zealand, on the western portion, there is a kind of some crazy nature. And that's what I would consider this. So we do want to take a look probably around here. Tawarau Forest Conservation Area. I feel better about this based on just the names alone. So Te Papa Ataubai or something like that. I'm going to go a little bit more north up here. Alright, it was North Island. We lost nearly 2,000 points. Even though we got the right country. That's New Zealand. And yeah, it was up here. It was up here. Would I have found this with region? Waikato, no. It doesn't even have, honestly, it doesn't even have a marker for the name of the conservation area. The language sent me to New Zealand, but I was wrong about the island, and that killed me, unfortunately. And we're out for gold, no chance. 1,200 points out, actually, so it's not even close. Central Europe looks like here. Could be something even as far as Ukraine, though, in my mind. I liked that sign here. Utka belongs to, and it has some Cyrillic. So Serbia? Could be. It could be. Having both languages could mean Bulgaria or Serbia most of the time. I think that's the best guess. But also there's Macedonia and Montenegro. Yellow 24. How did I find that right away? So what is this called? Kikinda? On the yellow 24. This is good news. And the yellow 122 as well. Something to look for. Here's the 24. Continues down here. I think this is right. Kind of feels right. Ada. There's a place called Ada in Kikinda. I do want to see if I can find this highway though. The 122 yellow. Now, is it yellow or is this sign just yellow? That's another thing to consider. 119, I'm close. 123. Oh, it has to be around here. 121. It's got to be in the middle, no? Of these. 121, 120, 121. This is so hard. I hate this game. It's so frustrating. Geoguessr, man. It gives you gold and then it takes it away, and it's like, screw you, you suck. And it kicks you while you're down. And various other things that also hurt my feelings. So, it's not going to be Macedonia there. Montenegro could be, no. See, the highways are right for Serbia. They are. I don't know if they're right for Bulgaria. Even then, the numbers do go up a little bit high, but man, I just feel better about Serbia. Yeah, and it was super north. Let's see. Senta's where we were. There's Ada, super small. Well, it's not that small, but I also wasn't looking up there because I didn't think it was there. Kikinda was also up there, which is actually pretty big. But again, I wasn't looking up there because I saw the 24 lower, and that's that simple. I mean, we're on the 102, I guess, maybe heading towards it. Much further on. Like, why? You know, this is what I'm saying. What does that sign even mean then? It's not any of these. Did they renumber their highways? That's tough. That's tough. 20,910. At least we got over 20,000. New Zealand. I don't know if we should have done better. I mean, it's super mountainous over here, and obviously where we were wasn't that mountainous, so I could have guessed it wasn't here, but I also didn't have any better ideas. I've had rounds with crazy nature that felt like, that were on the West Island that felt like that. Also, it can look like that up there, I guess. So, there's that. And then, of course, Colombia. It's that northern region. It gets me every single time. It really does, and it sucks. I got to get better at Colombia because it's been coming up a ton and screwing me every single time. Anyway, that's going to do it. If you enjoyed, please leave a like down below, subscribe for daily Geoguessr videos, and leave a comment. Let me know how you did on today's daily. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.